First thing we do is we lower it to the ground. Drop the rear leg.
And David's just setting up the DN5 now. He's dropping the rear legs first, and then he'll use the controls to adjust the airbag height, airbag pressure to adjust the height and lower it down so everything's a more accessible working height. So it has a ride height with the airbag suspension, and then once you're at camp it has a working height for camping. And the screen there in front of David actually tells him whether the van's level or not. The jockey wheel is probably going to have to come down a little bit to assist with that, but first up he needs to level it side to side.
So we've got it level now with the airbags. This leg's just off the ground, so we'll wind him down till she touches. Not too much. Beautiful. Now it's a bit lower to the ground, you'll be able to get to the lid latches a bit easier.
So there's 4 of the lid latches, so 1 on the front there on the left, 1 on the rear, and then 2 on the far side.
Push the up button.
Fully automatic roof.
Once that's up, we can set the awning up.
Now, for those of you that have been following the channel for a while, you might remember the previous video I did on the DN5 from Free Spirit Campers. Since then, David's changed from the traditional sort of caravan motorised awning to a Bush Company awning. A couple of main reasons for that is the Bush Company awning is completely freestanding, and the other reason is it wraps around and provides coverage over the rear door and extended coverage over the kitchen area as well, which is a great improvement on the standard just rectangular awning that was on there previously. So, as is always the case, run the arms out and then tension those up, and you can see the fantastic coverage that the Bush Company awning is actually providing. That's their 270 max.
We have an extra weather flap there, forms a gutter, magnetises onto the camper with magnets, one at the front, one at the back.
Fantastic. So yeah, a little extra seal gutter that's built into the awning there. In case you couldn't hear David, there's magnets actually stitched into that little cover strip to make a rain gutter and channel the water away from those surfaces. So nothing difficult to actually install those or anything.
We have a strap at the back there, and that's just this supports this pole, because this pole's only a single pole, so it needs a little bit more support than the rest of the poles.
Sure.
So give it a little bit of a Velcro strap there to secure it in place.
Perfect.
And then I think we set up the sink that open up all these latches, travel latches, only used while you're travelling, and grab hold of your sink. And that's about it. I think we're done, Jason.
There you go. And that's set up. There is the slide out kitchen.
Oh yes, I can set that up if you like.
And you know, that's really the last thing. And when you pull the slide out, it gives you that L-shaped kitchen. And again, a little bit of an improvement or change since last time is the Weber's actually now mounted on its own slide over the top of the induction cooktop. So that actually helps hold the induction cooktop in during travel mode, and the Weber's nice and accessible there. So you've got induction cooking or you've got gas cooking on the Weber. you know, pretty versatile. And then it does just have that little fixed leg that folds down and supports everything because it's fairly well extended. But you got your fridge there, your L-shaped cooking for preparation, and that's as much effort as it takes. You could climb inside now and curl up on the bed ready for sleep. So a little bit later on, we've got the kitchen set up and pressed the cooktop into service, and Dave's cooking us up some tasty looking cutlets.
Nice bit of red, I'm sure it's going to be.
So that nice sort of orange lighting, which cuts down on how many insects you tend to attract, which is always a good thing.
Can you see? Oh, you can see in there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's using a bit of power there.
So yeah, 110 amps.
Yep.
But you're still at 94% because you got so much battery capacity.
Yeah, we've also, when I got here, I turned the hot water service on.
Yep.
So the hot water would be hot by now.
Perfect.
So that uses a fair bit of power as well.
So yeah, as you can see, having 600 plus amp hours of lithium power, more than enough to run electric hot water and run a 2-burner cooktop as well. So adding some flavouring there to the cutlets with some broccolini.
Turn that on 800. I'm going to turn that down a bit to 600. Now we're just going to let that simmer for a fair amount of time, and I hope I might just give it a little bit of a stir first. Let's get that
So and oh, looking good.
I think this is going to turn out all right.
There you go. And yeah, it was a tasty meal. Such a great kitchen space to work in as well. Like David's got it set up with all the camping gear. He knows where everything is. Plenty of flat surfaces, and even room, as you can see there, in front of the cooktop to have the plates there to serve onto.
And there.
You could use the space on the end as well.
Yeah. Not fine dining. It's looking pretty good. We'll wait till we see.
And it tasted pretty good as well. Somehow food always tastes better too when someone else is cooking. Solid run of the induction cooktop there, and batteries still at 90%. Just drawing 2.3 amps now with the few lights that are on.
Yep. It's there.
Yeah, it's just coming through now. Yep, that's hot.
Yeah, so you don't normally fill it right up because you know you're going to save water. You don't need to, but by the time it gets to about the right level, it's normally about the right temperature with a bit of cold to start with. We normally keep, because the drawers go inside and outside, we've got a little bit of access around the wheel arch where we keep things like chopping boards, dishwasher cloth. Just turn the bench lights so I can see in there.
Oh, awesome.
Cloth out.
Yep.
Probably enough of that.
Hot water though, straight on tap just makes life easy, doesn't it?
Yep.
Utensil drawer for these, just on the end there, is it? Or?
No, it's here.
Oh yeah, perfect. So yeah, very easy to wash up after dinner when you've got hot water straight on tap. Using the electric storage hot water system,
Get up in the morning.
which I think is
If the flicker switch you turn on,
maybe a 10 litre.
Get in the shower.
Yeah, perfect. So just sort of flicks on and off overnight and keep the water, just like a hot water system at home.
That's right.
Keep it hot.
Just stays hot, and there's no real benefit. There's probably a very small benefit of turning it off and just turning it on when you need it.
Yep.
Because if you don't use the hot water, it'll take for it to fully cool down good 24 hours.
Yep.
So you're really not getting any benefit by turning it off. So if you just leave it on,
once it's up to temperature.
it cuts in and out a bit, but
So yeah, Dave just recommending there that while you're camped up, leave the electric hot water system on. You've got more than enough battery. Hey everyone, it's Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and we've been out here camping with David from Free Spirit Campers. We did a bit of an off-road test yesterday, which you've probably seen earlier in this video, and this is the latest version of the DN5. So a couple of changes straight away. If you watched the last video we did on the DN5, you notice the awning is a big change straight away. So this is a Bush Company 270 Max awning, completely freestanding, and most importantly gives you coverage around the back of the camper to the access door at the rear. So you might remember previously the camper had one of those motorized awnings that came out, and it had to have poles and had to be tied down and anchored down. So this is a great change, and it gives you really good coverage. Another change in the kitchen over here, the induction cooktop's still here, but the Weber is now mounted on a slide that covers the induction cooktop. So that used to be secured for transit with a tie down strap, and now the Weber simply slides in and out and covers that. So it's just a matter of sliding that in, and the Weber locks in place there. And there's some lugs that David's had fabricated that keep that cooktop in place. It doesn't slide around, and the Weber on top of it stops it jumping out. So really safe and secure for transporting the induction cooktop. Fridge still the same, and the kitchen area is still the same here. You've got this great stainless steel bench top that folds down against the door, and you've still got these excellent two-way drawers that have the travel latches on them, obviously to secure them during travel, but when you're parked up and using it, you undo those, and they're accessible internally or externally. There's your Marine screen that lets you know what's going on with the camper. So it's battery's at about 77% this morning, so that's after running the hot water system and running the induction cooker last night, and again this morning for breakfast, and running the coffee machine, because who doesn't want a barista coffee first thing in the morning when you get up? I certainly do, and it was good. So yeah, 77%, and just looking at the screen there, with the morning sun, there's about 4 amps going into it. So
Hot water service is on.
And yeah, that's with the hot water service still recharging. So as the sun gets a bit higher, you will have seen from some of the drone footage, the whole roof's covered in solar. Talking about the roof, that's the other big change. So you can probably see just above the awning, the white roof, that's all one piece now. It's one big piece of fiberglass. It's reinforced with ribs to hold its shape, to keep it lightweight and very, very strong, but most importantly, no joints. So there's no leak points. So a lot of roofs of hybrid campers are made by having extrusions with panels that lock in together, similar to the way rooftop tents are made, and you end up with a lip around the outside that's a little higher. So this is all one piece, and it's shaped for the water to come off. And talking about water, with the awning, David's had at the rear where the door is, and at the front where this awning comes around. Let me just point this out to you. Up in here is a custom little gutter that seals back to the camper, so you don't have any issues with water coming down between the awning and the van. So all those little extra attention to detail items are what are so important and make living with the camper a fantastic experience. So that's the main changes on the outside. Still runs the airbag suspension, so obviously at the moment parked up, the airbag suspension's been let right down, camper's leveled, and makes everything a nice work height. When you're ready to take off, you can obviously lift that up. That's the main changes outside. We'll go inside and have a look at what's changed in there. And so you can see there's actually 28 amps going in now because the hot water system's actually no longer running. So yeah, 1 hour and 8 minutes and we're back to 100%, and that's after running the cooker last night and this morning and the hot water system this morning. You know, tons of battery storage here and heaps of solar, and that's the thing that's often overlooked. It's great to have a lot of battery storage, but you need the solar to be able to put the power back in when you're camping off grid, which is what these campers are designed to do. So the access to the DN5 is from the rear, nice centrally mounted door, nice easy step to get up, and importantly, that door's on an angle. Why is that important? Because when you step up into it, your head's naturally inside the door already and you've got that head clearance, so you don't need to duck when you go inside. Nice easy latch. The door's not heavy at all, and you're ready to just head on in. No ducking required. And yeah, you've got a full queen size bed there, lots of headspace. You've got another kitchen inside here. There's the drawers with the dual access from this side. So these are the same drawers that we were accessing from the other side. And you've got another sink inside here as well. So when you've got inclement weather, you can bring that induction cooktop from outside in. You've got 240 volt power there, and you can cook inside here if you need to. Tons of seating space here, and the end section here actually converts to the ensuite. So again, if you've seen the previous video we did on the DN5, this is a really good space utilization feature, because your ensuite, you're generally only using that for a short time. So why have your ensuite actually taking up a significant amount of space in your camper all the time? So those seat cushions come out of there, and that curtain comes around, and you've got a space in there for your shower. The curtain actually makes sure the water drains away, and yeah, that's your access just there, secured nicely with a strap, and you've got a waterproof floor in there that drains the water away. So when you're not using it, you've got much more seating space. You could easily have 3 or 4 people in here than a hybrid van of this size would generally have. And just, yeah, super comfortable, and a nice wide walkway as well. So look, that's a quick rundown on the DN5, guys. Jump over to the Free Spirit Campers website for more information, or get in touch with David. He's always happy to answer questions. These are a great Aussie made camper, made locally to where I live. I'm based in Albury, as most of you know, and these are made just up the road in Gindra. And David personally assembles each and every one. So fantastic bit of Aussie off-road camping. And if you've watched the start of this video with where we were able to take this camper, it'll go anywhere your tow vehicle will go. Hey guys, I'm just here with David, and he's going to run through some changes on the ensuite setup. You know, they're constantly looking for ways to improve the camper and make it more user-friendly and make it just work better. And he's made some great innovative changes to the way the ensuite works here. So I'll just show you that with David as he comes in now. So for a start, that cushion just removes and velcros up here, so you can still use this end of the bench seat as a seat. There's a cover there that's powder coated metal that covers the existing cushioning as well, and that opens the shower, and you can see down in there you've got a fully fabricated shower base, outer checker plate with a drain installed, and that drains to a grey water tank, which is really important, because if you're staying somewhere where you can't just discharge grey water, you need to be able to capture your own wastewater. The other big change, in line with a lot of industry changes, is the toilet is now a composting toilet. The Ogo composting toilet, probably the most popular and sought after composting toilet on the market. So that's the big change. And you've got the shower screen there in the corner, yep, still mounted to the track, and you can see how neatly that just tucks away in the corner. And importantly, the bottom part of the shower curtain that gets wet stays within that shower cubicle. So as simple as that, you just run the curtain out. It keeps the toilet free of getting wet when you're having a shower, and you've got a really good space. And again, something we mentioned in the last video, where you want the space is up high, where your arms are and your shoulders are, and the base is a little smaller at the bottom, but the track of the curtain up high is much larger than the footprint of the base of the shower at the bottom. So you've got all the space you need to get in there and have a great shower inside the comfort of your own camper. So no need to, like a lot of hybrids, go outside and have a shower standing on the grass next to your camper. It's inside here in the privacy of your own camper, but then you're not sacrificing that space because it very quickly converts back to a bench seat. So
yeah, nothing better than being able to jump in the shower and then jump straight into bed. Very little setup in here, so it's just a nice Yeah, nice feature to have it inside rather than outside. The sink's also connected to the grey water tank, the inside sink. And I might add too, the shower base has got an angle, a 2-degree angle, so if you're not level, it doesn't pull any water. That's the idea of the fabricated shower base by ourselves, is to get it angled and a gutter at the back, so it doesn't matter if your camper's not level, it won't pull water. So when you get up in the middle of the night to use a toilet, you don't get wet feet.
Yeah, all those little creature comforts make it different to how comfortable it is to live with your camper when you're out there camping, and how willing you and perhaps the other half are to stay out there.
Yep. And also the shower curtain, if you want a bit of privacy around the toilet, you can use this curtain to give a bit of privacy around the toilet. So
yeah, fantastic.
It's very quick to put away and set up. Simply put that in there, and if the bottom of the shower curtain's wet like it is this morning, because I had a shower this morning, it's not too big a deal. It can stay wet in there, and it'll dry out over the day. Put that back.
Less than a minute and you've converted it back to a bench seat, and most people would have no idea that there's actually an ensuite in that corner of the van right there.
Yep.
Fantastic. David, there's been a couple of changes since the last model that I saw on the electrical front, hasn't there?
Yeah, there's been a few improvements, and mainly due to specification changes, Australian standards, requiring the batteries to be in a sealed box.
Okay.
I'll take you through that.
Fantastic. So you haven't done what some manufacturers have done and just put a low-hanging box on the outside that's ripe to be hit the first time you go through a rough crossing?
No. The batteries basically stayed in the same position. It's an ideal spot for the batteries because it's directly over the axle. The axle's there. This is a wheel arch here, but right next to the wheel arch. It's an ideal spot for 2 batteries, and these PowerPool batteries are an ideal size because we can fit 2 of them in here, 315 amp batteries. These aren't 315, these are 300 amp batteries, but now they've gone to 315 amp.
Yep.
So we fixed 630 amp hours of lithium battery in there, which is magnificent. And we put it inside a sealed box now. You can see we put a polycarbonate cover on the top so you can see the batteries, see what's going on. And inside that box we run a vent tube up through the floor, up nice and high, and then we put a filter on top just so it can ventilate to the outside. And we don't get any dust in there because it's got a filter on there, and we get the tube up nice and high to ensure there's no water's going to come in through a deep river crossing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but the rest of it's fairly similar. I think we may have added a few more breakers here for the new regulations to be able to isolate the solar, and we've now upgraded on the newer models to the new style 50 DC charger. That's a 50 amp Victron charger. We're all Victron chargers here. That's a 30 amp Victron charger as per the previous model, but this is a 15 amp charger. We've now upgraded that charger to as standard a 20 amp Victron charger. I think under here there's a few more electrical components as well, which is similar to the previous model. It's our 3000 watt inverter in there, the 240 volt Victron charger, and the diesel heater. And there's 240 volt circuit breakers above that too. And
most importantly, the tempering valve for the hot water system, which you set on the temperature you want. So that's an important point that we should have mentioned when we're looking at the shower, is you can have that tempering valve there set on the temperature you want to have your shower at, and just jump straight in the shower. There's no waiting to regulate the temperature and get it just right, because the tempering valve does that for you. So fantastic bit of kit to be incorporated into the camper. Yeah, obviously this is access to the fridge in here, so when you roll the fridge drawer closed, you can access the fridge inside. Also, while we're talking about the shower, over here on the shower rose here, up there, Jason, we also add a little flow valve here to get the flow correct, because when you're camping, of course, you want to save as much water as you can. Water's a precious commodity. This just allows you to set the flow correct, and then you generally don't have to change it again. We try and set it around 2 or 3 litres per minute. Works just beautiful, and that shower rose is designed for a really low flow, so it still works good. Fantastic. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.